Hello there. Oh, actually, I don't know if this is sponsored, so I'll turn it down a bit. So there we go. Hello there, people of the Arisator, people, Bloodline, and people watching, and whoever watches this, and whoever watched my block from earlier, the Irmunsul Ingwieblót, for the time of come off. So as always, I said I'd come on a few hours or an hour or so after the blot when I get time, and I'll do a video explaining on what the blot's actually about, although I know it's read in my reading. So, and I'll tell you a bit more about Ingwieblót as well. So so first of all, who is Ingwieblót? Ingwieblót is said to be part of the Wanya or the Vanya. Ingwe is the equivalent to Frey in the Norse pantheon. He is an Anglo-Saxon deity as well as a Scandinavian deity. And he is the deity of fertility, which is the time of May is a very fertile time, as you know. And fertility can be growth of the land, fertile of the trees and cattle. It can also be, reproducing of humanity, etc. Excuse me. I do believe it's strongly connected to Ingwieblót. The rune of the month is, of course, the Ingwas, which I have on this boar tooth here. The spiritual animal is the boar, being Ingwe's animal because of Golden Burst, Gun and Basti. Like I said in my reading, he has the foldable boat, made by the Dweorgs, the wood the leaf boat, and so Ingwieblót, like I said in the reading, he had an antler sword. He once had a sword that had a mind of its own. So I guess sort of like the spear what Lou has. It controls itself. It's said to wield itself without being manned. Sort of like the spear in Celtic mythology what Lou has, I guess, for those who are watching it more Celtic heathen. It's a comparison. But then the sword got, I think it got destroyed if I'm correct. Then he was left with an antler blade, an antler sword, a sword made from an antler blade. And he will obviously go up against Huts with that in the final battle. All egg stuns, some believe it in Germanic to be modernly known as Ragnarok. So yeah, that's Ingwieblót. There is another block dedicated later in the world to Ingwieblót, according to my lead blotter Chris, which will come up later in the wheel in a later block, so he will get honoured again by the whole half. Chris in the Klingers half will be focusing more on the Irmunsul, but he said he can add Ingwe in for more form of worship. So that will be really good, and we'll burn an Ingwas rune in the Sacred Grove. That's much right, sorry about that. But it is also focused on the Irmunsul, so I'll go over what the Irmunsul is again a bit now. The Irmunsul is it was a sacred pillar or a sacred tree in one's grove what was worshipped round or was honoured as a sacred part of the grove. It's a very important part of a whale fed, and it's in your hearth or in your selected grove. And I think the Germanic folk also named it like their form of seal of the world tree, so it goes towards that as well. And the logo you often get, or the image you would often get for an Irmunsul, would look something like that. Now that is a model. Anglo-Saxons use it a lot, but it was actually based off the model that the Saxons in the mainland actually had, and unfortunately it was brought down by Charlemagne, but it's still here today. It's, you know, it was kept in history and it's still here today, and our job is to keep it alive. Some will also see it as an Anglo-Saxon or Saxon image of the world tree as well. Maybe that's how the Saxons thought it to be. Maybe that's why they made a pillar looking like that. Because maybe how they thought of the Anglo-Saxon world tree. So obviously, you think about it, you could have there's 7. Some say 7, some say 9, some say there's 2. Niflheim and Muspelheim in the Iron Herbal Charms buried beneath the roots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And if you look at these 2 points here, they're probably the ones beneath the roots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, point at the bottom, and then your 2 beneath the roots there that are 9 herbal charms. So yeah, there you go. That could be an ample look, and looking at your world tree. Do excuse the adverts, I do apologise. But the Irmunsul block, like I said in my reading, there's loads of ways you can look at the Irmunsul, whether it's a world tree or pillar of worship. One thing I did forget to mention in my reading is actually what you will see in a lot of May blots, and the Celts do it at Beltane as well, is they will dance ribbons around poles. And this actually, and I know this is going to be mentioned in Chris's reading, Klinger's Half blot, is that pole actually represents an Irmunsul as well. They would dance ribbons around the Irmunsul pillar, and the pole is meant to represent an Irmunsul, or possibly the world tree. And that's where the tradition comes from. It is a Anglo-Saxon and Germanic dance. It's not actually Brythonic or Gaulish or anything Celtic in that aspect. One thing the Celts did do a lot around this time was, what I can confirm, is the Wicker Man. I do believe that is their thing. Like we would have had hanging, I do believe, like I say, in one of my statuses I do on my group, our Sator group, and on Thanes of the Fenced there, I do believe hanging to be more Germanic execution, and if you survived it, it's Rodin saying he's not ready for you to go just yet. But I do think the Wicker Man was Celtic, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah, so on that subject. So yeah, the Maypole and obviously the Morris dancing are very Germanic Anglo-Saxon dances. I would imagine the Morris dancing probably represented some sort of sword fight. It may have represented the fight at the mainland forebears fought against the Franks when defending the Irmunsul. It could have originated from that, but who knows? That's my guess. But yeah, I did forget to mention the Maypole dance, and that is very Germanic and Anglo-Saxon, Anglekin. We could use the word Old English or English, but like I was speaking to my lead blotter Chris about this, and I think the word, we didn't refer to ourselves as Old English or Anglo-Saxon back then. The word was pronounced, it meant the same thing, but in that old tongue it was pronounced Anglekin. The Angles known themselves as Anglekin, and the Saxons were known as Saxon or Seax. And the Jutes, I'm not too sure. But yeah, Anglican, Saxon, and the Jutes all would have performed a similar sort of dance around an Irmunsul pole. And it's another thing. It's also at the time of Thrilkmanoth, this time of wheel in the moon cycle. Cattle, cows were milked 3 times a day. because the fertility and the fertile produce was so strong at this time of year. It's the time of awakening and fertility where you will just get loads of milk out of the cows and other cattle, goats, etc. for that matter, because I know some goats can provide milk. It's a very fertile time of year, and another advert is coming up, so I do apologise. We're not doing any sponsors yet because we're not that big, so you can take your adverts and go away. There we go, sorry about that. So yeah, very fertile time of year for all come on off, where the cattle can be milked 3 times a day, produce is good, and the trees grow. Now, like I said in Block, my Irmunsul today would have been my local apple tree. I had the Irmunsul statue that stands on my forebear wheel, on my wardrobe, my tool boy, and it's a very important thing at this time of year. It's a very important part of the wheel, or the grove. So yeah, and then I burnt an Ingwieblót room. So what was that about? It was my offering to Ingwe to ask for good fortune, good wealth, and positive energies throughout for all come on off in May. I do have my name day, my 27 years round Sinner coming up, and at the end of Frill come on off, I'm due a holiday with my with friend, my partner, and Katie, her name is, and we obviously want to keep Hudson Garden ill and disease and all that away from interrupting these sacred times. There is still COVID going about, and there is also a lot of stomach flu going about at the moment, and we want to make sure we're avoiding that in such a sacred time of the wheel. Well, for me and for a lot of others as well, for certain events. So we've got to make sure that Ingwe's got my back on, especially for this moon, and that it's a good one. It's a very exciting time of wheel for me, to be fair. And I'm hoping to get to Glastonbury on my name day, because there's something in my dreams that keeps pulling me back there. I know it's a very spiritual and important place to many heathens anyway, but there is something pulling me back there, and I really want to go back. I keep seeing it in my dreams, I keep returning to it in my dreams, and I think something's calling me back there, I really do. I'll find out what it is eventually the more I go. But yeah, this is a very exciting month for me, for August to plan. So the last thing we did before the Megan toasts was we performed what we call Sidhu, which is an oath on the iron blade. So with the Sidhu, we swear oaths to our laird and to our kin and to our half that we will protect and defend our religious culture and ways. And that's what we did. We swore, me and me swore on the iron. I know Gareth didn't do it because it's his first blot, and he's not used to it, he's not confident. I didn't expect for him for a minute to do a Sidhu today. I did offer, but he didn't wish to do it. But me and Reese performed the Sidhu on our iron blades, and I felt it went really well. The block went quicker than I thought. Sometimes it's more about the setup and getting the setup, but it went really well. I know the King's Half one may proceed a bit longer because there'll be other readings that need to be done by Chris and maybe Ian as well, our fire horseman Ian. So we'll see how that goes. That I think Great Megan again will be spent really well, and there'll be lots to do in our sacred grove. What I'm not going to announce publicly. So yeah, that's good. Then we raise the toasts as we do the Megan. And that was pretty much our blot on what it was about. Obviously, we could have tried to set up like a little pole dance or something. I never thought. I think that's something we can look into next year to you know, to make the plot really good. No. I'm just going to talk over this because we don't want to know about unnecessary advertisements. There we go. Try and keep the music going. So yeah, folks, was a really good. I thought it was a really good plot today. It went really well. The remainder of the mead, as Gareth is new to trying mead, and I know he's Kinnar as well. He's half. I'll let him take the mead home, as I know he's a sister's partner really wants to try it as well. He's never tried it, so hopefully I've knocked that event off his bucket list to try some mead, and I suppose you have to pay like £10 or over for it. £10 or over for it, because it's quite expensive mead today. It's affordable, but it's very expensive. So why not help a brother out? So yeah, I'll give them the rest of that little bit of that bottle of mead that was left. So yeah, and that's pretty much Ingwieblót in a nutshell at the time of Frelkman off. I also called out a few times to Mona and Tu, because Mona known as Manny and Tu Tia, because they are our Patreon's half deities. They are the upholder deities of Ekling's half. Because twice Ekling's half was born and reborn under a new moon, the blue moon and the pink moon. So amazing presents from this wonderful person here, Mona, who's now I'll be taking this to the Ekling's half plot, because he is one of our upholding deities at Ekling's half now. So how Mona, and of course I do have a few representatives of two, but the one I have up here, well, I can't really present right now, but I've got another two down in my garden wheel, which I'm actually going to bring back up here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to bring it back up here for reasons of my understanding, and that'll be really good. So yeah, or I might swap one with Race, but yeah, for my own understanding. But yeah, guys, that's brilliant, and I hope that's explained a bit more up front about Frelkman off Ingwieblót. And if I don't do these after home block, I will do these videos after Ekling's half, so you guys get the idea of more what it's about. And yeah, there we go. So what's so how, everybody? Drink ale and enjoy whatever this is for you. If you're Celts, happy Beltane. If you're in the southern hemisphere and you're more Celtic, happy Samhain. Time of what is actually, is it Winterfillith, or is it Blockman off in the southern hemisphere? If you're an Anglo-Saxon heathen in the southern hemisphere, you are celebrating, let's have a look, because I always forget to mention this as well. Yeah, Winterfillith. So if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're Anglo-Saxon, if you're Anglo-Saxon heathen and you're in the southern hemisphere, happy Winterfillith. Or if you're Norse heathen and you are in the southern hemisphere, let me just skip this advert. They're really getting on my nerves. It's like every 5 minutes. You will be celebrating. I'm trying to see if I can. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation if I can actually find the wheel. They're pretty much the same things, just a different tongue. So you will be celebrating, oh my gosh, Hortsmunder, I think it's pronounced. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'll probably butcher that. Hortsmunder. Or some Norse know it as winter nights as well. It's commonly winter nights, I've heard some call it. So yeah. Or if you're celebrating in Scandinavia here, in Europe or wherever, in the Northern Hemisphere, and I forgot the name for that as well in that, so I'll say it to you guys as well. Just bear with me. I've gone past it. Oh, bear with me. Sorry about this, guys. I think I've gone past it. Have we gone past it? Yes, I think we have. Still a slanted wheel, isn't it? Bear with me. We're nearly done, guys. I've just got to form this bloody name. Bear with me. So if Harper. So apparently it's Harper. Some believe it to be Walpurgis Night. Like I said in my last video, she is an Anglo-Saxon Christian abbess, and it celebrates the demise of heathens. So it's Harper if you're Scandinavian. So happy Harper if you're over this side in the Northern Hemisphere. That's all for today, everybody. Thank you for watching, choosing to watch if you do. And wassel ho, happy whatever this time is for you. Thank you, guys. See you later. Your man Rich Nicholson out.